Hey guys, Ronamil. Today we are painting the last of the super battle droids as of right now. This is Kraken, super tactical droid. He comes in the General Grievous Appetite for Destruction booster set for Shatterpoint. So he's very similar to Kalani, who we did at the beginning of this week. You'll see, instead of doing silver like I started with Kalani, instead I'm starting with some green skin, just to try and differentiate between him and Kalani, although I am just basically coating the whole thing in green skin. So like always, we're going to take a look at his character card right now. So Kalani, the super Kraken, the super tactical droid. Kraken is a secondary unit, meaning he's higher up than the super battle droids, but he is not a general, so he does not contribute anything. He uses points, which he uses 4 points, does not contribute force, of course. He's got 4 abilities. He's got 10 hit points and 2 stamina, like pretty much everybody else. He is a battle droid, a droid, and part of the Separatist Alliance. Again, nothing too surprising there. So, as far as skills are concerned, he has Do Not Let Them Escape. At the start of this unit's activation, you may choose this unit or an allied battle droid supporting unit. Interesting, not a trooper unit, a supporting unit. Each character in that unit, character in the chosen unit may advance. Tactical network, which costs a force. Choose another allied battle droid character within range for the chosen character may advance, then may gain cover. Remove 1 condition from itself or make a 5 dice attack. So again, kind of, I feel like Kalani had something similar to that, allowing battle droids to basically act independently and go off on their own again. Complete analysis. When you spend force to place this unit's order card in reserve, spend 1 less force. So again, self-explanatory. Quite a few characters at this point have that ability, which I guess it's good if you want to reorganize, but I don't think it's all that useful. And finally, Conqueror's Resolve. While a character in this unit is contesting 1 or more activation objectives, it has protection and steadfast. Cool. Sorry, I'm reading it off a screen, and it's a very small card I'm reading off of right now. So this guy gave me some trouble when I first started assembling him. As you can see, his one arm is way like almost off of the shoulder. That's because it was not wanting to stay, and the back leg that's on the ground, not on the destroyed ship or destroyed support for the Republic, whatever you want to call it. That also, it fell off about 3 times after the glue had dried. It's just a very spindly piece. Most battle droids have that issue, and you can even see, like, I actually have to be very careful because he's shifting even as I do the painting. And he's been dry for like weeks. Alright, so let's take a quick look at his card. Ruthless Logic is his damage card. His ranged attack is 5. A range of 5. 7 dice attack and 4 defense, and for his melee is 5 attack and 4 defense. So he has the is that an E3? I think that's an E3 blaster rifle. I find it weird to call it a blaster rifle when he, I mean, I guess it's more of a rifle. It's not a pistol. Okay, so that is Moondust yellow that I'm using, and what's nice is all of the spots that have to be yellowed are raised fairly well. So I'm just kind of going gentle and connecting all those yellow lines. Yeah. Alright, so for expertise, 1 expertise gives him a crit, 2 or more gives him a crit, and 2 hits. For blast, he is 1 to 2 gives him a hit, 3 gives him a crit, and 4 or more gives him 2 crits. Interesting. I feel like, again, he gets a little bit better from melee. Well, does he really? Not really. I feel like ranged, he still wants to stay as far back as possible. I kind of didn't follow the concept art as much as I did for the other guys. Just because I'll get into this habit of like, I'll start following it and then I'll just kind of do what I want after, which I feel like while painting miniatures, even though they're based off of existing characters, like, you still want to make it somewhat unique, somewhat to yours, you know. So I do love that chest plate though. Like, it's a lot less intricate than Kalani's. Everything I saw also shows it more of a yellow than a gold. Like, Kalani's 100% looked like it was a gold, like gold metallic to me. But Kraken, as far as I can tell, is just a simple paint job on the spots instead. His defense is self-preservation. 1 to 2 gives him an extra defense. 3 to 4 gives him an extra 2 defense. And 5 or more gives him 2 defense and a reposition. Why did I grab the white? Oh, I didn't grab the white. I don't know why I was showing that. Instead, I'm grabbing the, it's called Goddess Silver or Goddess Steel. Just to give it a nice, you know, differentiation from the gunmetal that was used all over Kalani. I tried to paint this guy as differently from Kalani as possible because it is so easy to make a mistake and think one is the other one. I know when I got this set, I thought he was just Kalani in a different pose. But he does have some different skills and some different attacks and everything. He has 2 starting points for his damage. One which is a push and a damage, and one that is I believe that's a hold or like a stop. You know, like they can't escape or they can't move. And a damage. And then he only has one other split, which is right after his second set, which is 2 damage and a push. You could either do 2 extra damage or you can pin him down. I think that's, or knock him down maybe. I don't know. And then let's see. Oh, I keep doing that. So, sorry. The arrow with the line through it is like cannot move. The arrow with the slots on the back is Kalani can advance. The arrow with the downward motion, I'm going to say, is knockdown. But then everything else is the same. And 1, 2, 3, 4. At most he can do is 5 successes will give him his max, which, if you go all damage, will be 2, 4, 6, 7 damage at most. Again, not a very powerful unit, but he's more meant for staying in the background and controlling the droids, just like Kalani is. So let's do a little bit of historic research on this character. Let's see, he's a military super tactical analysis droid, of course. I don't even remember this unit, to be completely honest. Kalani, you get Kalani a few times. You don't see too many of these super tactical battle droids. Kalani served under Harch Separatist Admiral Tench at the Battle of the planet Ringo Vinda, where he was destroyed by Anakin. However, sometime later, Kraken was repaired by the Confederacy and participated in a separatist invasion of the planet Scipio, where he served under Confederate head of state Count Dooku during the battle. Okay. I don't remember this battle at all. If this was in the Clone Wars, mind you, it may not have been, but it looks like it has. Also, when was this? This was supposed to be 19 BBY, so 19 years before the Battle of Yavin. So that was fairly short. That was near the end of the Clone Wars. Like all of them, or all the super tactical battle droids, they were manufactured by Bactoid Combat Automated. Kraken served again under Admiral Trench and had control of the orbital graving docks that encircled the planet Ringo Vinda. Yeah, so at this point, by the way, guys, I realized that I shouldn't have painted everything like on his hands green. Instead, I should have done a quick silver. But again, the paint dries quick enough that it's easy enough to just go back over it and clean it up. Okay, so during the battle, Republic lost their momentum on the Separatist forces after clone trooper Tub executed Jedi Master Tiplar in a parameter that I can't even read, guys. Premature activation of Order 66. Oh, okay. Now I know. This was where this is when the guy accidentally activates and he kills one of the two, like, twins. Very cool design aliens for the Jedi. I find it interesting that he was not deployed until that point. That just tells me that he was like, it was like really late in the series, in the game. It was really late in the war that they finally developed these tactical units. That was gunmetal, just to do the blaster and the wreckage that he's standing on, as well as to try and change up that face because it's mostly silver. So I just wanted something different for him. Okay, so then he worked under Dooku for a little while. Despite his destruction, Kraken was rebuilt by the Confederacy, where he served under Dooku in his invasion of the planet Scripio, which was part of the Count's plan to frame Senator Rush Clovis with the downfall of the intergalactic banking clan. During the invasion, Kraken was ordered by Dooku to destroy the Republic forces on the surface of the planet and was placed in command of Count Dooku's personal flotilla, while he went to the surface and carried out the final phases of his plan. Okay, after the battle, Kraken continued to serve under Dooku during the time of a quest carried out by Jedi Grand Master Yoda. The Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Sidious, contacted Kraken about Dooku's command ship, who ordered the droid to inform his apprentice that his presence was requested on the planet Coruscant. Interesting. So this is leading straight up to the invasion of Coruscant. But that's the last we hear of him up to present times in the Star Wars universe. Alright, so I take a little bit of bronze, weapon bronze, I believe it's called, and I go over all the exposed wires that, or I don't know what you would call those. To me, they looked like metal pylons or something that you would essentially screw into another sheet, a metal sheet, or thick metal wires for a bridge or something. I don't know. And then I tried doing some of the effect on his eye. Let me tell you, the faces on these guys are so detailed on the cards, but they are so hard to get anything usable on. So then the last thing I do, well, that was some more metal. I believe that was rusted iron, just for those front pieces. Again, there's really no good information on what he's standing on, other than the fact that it's a Republic something. And you'll see, I actually end up pretty much just leaving this after I use dark tone on it, just to see how it looks. I kind of like the dings, all the burn. It kind of looks burnt. It looks like it was burned from a fire, or when it got destroyed. So yeah, unlike Kalani, who's made a couple of extra appearances, this guy Kraken is very blink and you miss it backstory here. So it's a little hard to see, but I'm just coloring in the very tops of the Republic symbol to give it a nice white, since usually the Republic symbol is black and white. Just enough to give it a little something to pop. Alright, and that's the base coat done. Next up, we will be going over with the dark tones. So I'm very low on all my toners, so I had to use just dark tone at this point. And then again, I just brush it into all the little recesses, try to code it as best as I can. Again, I like just painting it all in and then going over it with highlights. You know, some people would prefer to go and like just put it slowly into all the crevices. He only made an appearance in 3 episodes altogether in the Clone Wars, and then after that he disappears. He was in the episode The Unknown, he was in the episode Crisis at the Heart, and he was in the episode Sacrifice. Jeez. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny how little information there is on this guy. I'm just looking. There was another. Who is this guy? So there was apparently one more of these super tactical battle droids. His name was Out-O. A-U-T-O. Or Zero. Out-Zero. So it looks like there was only 3 of these ever in canon. And he is completely different paint job than the other guys, and has even less screen time than Kraken does. Alright, so this is post drying of Kraken here. I'm going to go back through with the green skin tone first, then I add a little bit of orc skin, which is a lighter green, and then I just do a pure orc skin on the very, very top. I leave a lot of the dark toner underneath the sections that you wouldn't see too much change on. I don't know, I feel like, I guess maybe we can get one more super tactical battle droid before we run out in this series already, which is kind of funny that they have that guy. You figured there was so many. Was there really that many other commander type units or commanders in the droid army? I mean, maybe. I'm not too sure. Oh, this is the ones I recognize. Is the T-Series Military Strategic Analysis and Tactics droid. So this isn't a super version, this is just a standard one. These guys I remember quite well. So we're going to just finish up the paint job here. Alright, so let's see. The thing is, now there's not much, since there's not much backstory on this guy, there's not much else to talk about other than the cleanup job for him. So this, like I said, this is just the standard, what I ended up making the skin tone for him. Would you call it skin tone? Armor, plastoid, whatever, whatever the main coloring for him is. But again, the main goal is to get most of the stuff that the light would be hitting back to this bright green. I don't know, maybe I should have gone with gold for his markings there. Might have popped a little bit better. So, let's see. As of recording this, I have they just released the Mace Windu set, which is going to be the set that I was going to paint next. However, when I went to start working on him, for some reason the primer I used clumped up and is like chipping off, which is weird. It's the same primer I've used on most of my other models. I might have to go back and scrape off all the primer and redo it. So that's going to be next week's 2 episodes. It's going to be the troopers and the support unit that come with Mace Windu. We're getting really close to finishing all the support units already. After that, we just have 3 Mandalorians, actually. We have Jango Fett, Clan Kreese, I can't think of her name now, the leader of Clan Kreese, and the leader of the Death Watch Mandalorians. So Gar Saxon, that's his name. But then we actually just move on to the main generals. It was a lot more intense than I thought it was going. Like, it feels a lot more intense than, or a lot more models than there really are in this. Figure by the end of next month, when the last 2 expansions come out so far that's been announced, which is the Queen's Gambit, I believe, and it's the Bounty Hunters and Princess Amidala, Queen Amidala's entourage. Oh, and the Dathomir Night Sisters. That would bring us up to date on everything. Once those are all done, and if I finish all of the main heroes or the main generals, then we can actually start addressing the basing and the buildings, because there's a whole lot of buildings that I've been pushing off on painting, just because they're so massive. And I've never I've never airbrushed anything before, but I would rather airbrush it than hand paint these things, because they're so big. But not to worry, I'm sure by the time I get all these guys painted, there'll be another set of units on its way, or at least announced. So just finishing up with the base screens. I'm not too worried that you can see the dark tone on the helmet there. You'll see I go over him a couple of times. Now that's the Goblin Green right there. I go Goblin Green on the raised parts now, and then or Goblin with a mixture of skin green skin. Oi. Just to lighten up all the raised areas. It's a very subtle lighting difference. Which you'll see more of once we get to the pure goblin green. But the main goal and the reason I'm putting it down like that is so I can look straight down and act as if the sun is hitting from where I'm looking. So you can get a good angle on what would be this brighter color. If I wanted, I could actually bring the color up even more. Since he is a robot, which means those are metallic pieces. By adding a little bit of white to the mix. And then that would have been like a high reflect, highly contrast area. There we go. And then put it down just to get the edges. And here we go, touching up that helmet again. You want to make sure you cover this very well because it does start to look more like racing stripes if you're not careful. Alright, and then just pure goblin green should go on the very tops of everything. So this is going to be like the top of the bent knee, or yeah, the flat part of the wrist. There's a little raised ball joint thing there, connector joint, I don't know what you want to call it. So, yeah. Kalani was a lot darker green than I went with him. So. And you'll see I end up not doing too much highlighting on the metal on him. I kind of like the dirty metallics that he's got, so I just kind of do the very raised areas on him. There we go. Alright, and that will do it for his greens. Oh, almost. There we go. Alright. So then we should be switching to our silver, and this is literally just going over the very tops of everything that the sun is hitting. I really wanted to make sure that you could still see the different pieces between the different, like all the different joints and everything that are supposed to be showing up there. That nose cone was such a nightmare because even though I put such little amount of paint on it, it still kind of seeped into the crevice in between the two sides of the nose cone. Then we switch to the gunmetal. Oh no, sorry, oh, maybe we do switch to gunmetal. No, oh no, this is still the regular metal. Alright, so now should be gunmetal. Now with the gunmetal, I end up pretty much just dry brushing, which I'm showing right here how that's done. You get some metal, some of the paint on the brush, and then you essentially brush as much of it off onto a rag, or in my case a paper towel, as you can, and you're just kind of going over everything very lightly just to give it some highlights. And then I do the same thing with the bronze, because I accidentally got a little too much onto the those things, and then I end up adding a little bronze to the front end there. And then we should be on to the yellow. Yeah, the fact that his green is so bright, I wanted to make sure that the yellow stayed bright as well for most of it. And we're just about to the end, guys. Not too much else that has to be done here. Yeah, can't forget his little weird butt thing. Alright, well, that's weird. I don't even know if you guys heard that part where suddenly all of my files disappeared for this video. It was a weird glitch while I was recording this audio, so I do apologize if there's some weirdness in this one. I can tell you right now there's going to be. So I did yellow for the eyes, and then I just took some white and dotted as little as I could in the center of the yellow to kind of try and go for a glow effect. And then I add a little bit of goblin green to that front part of the visor there just to clean it up, and that will end us, guys. Kalani is pretty much done. Almost forgot, I do a little bit of a white dry brush just to clean up and give that a little bit more white instead of metallic look. But that is him, guys. Let's take a look at his finished image. There it is. He stands up pretty well on his own, so I didn't even have to tack him onto a base. But that will do it. This is Kraken. Like I said, hopefully next episode I can get all of the kinks worked out, and we will be getting the last of the clone troopers that have been released. That is with Mace Windu. So, till next time, Rona will. Later.